Welcome to the Path Podcast, where we will travel the lives of some bold women, from dreams to detours to destiny. She did not choose this path chose her. This is the Path Podcast. Hey, welcome back, Path listeners, to another survival guide through life. I would start by reading a quote I saw on my guest's IG page. The smallest things takes up the biggest room in our hearts. Today, we are having a conversation with a remarkable young lady who I discovered and I knew I had to bring to the Path podcast. My guest today is the founder of an organization that we'll tell you the name in a minute, that pulls at my heart. You are someone you may know have experienced such a traumatic time and became what my guest calls an angel mom. Path listeners, I want you to help me welcome in my guest today, Danielle Nicole. Hi, Danielle. How are you?
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me today.
No, thank you for coming on the Path podcast. I must admit, when I saw you, I'm like, who is this beautiful young lady? And what is her story? And when I started to dig a little bit more, what you're doing today resonates with me because I experienced what you're doing today that we're going to go into. But before we get into the deep weeds of it, I'm going to ask you to share a little bit about yourself. Tell me about Danielle Nicole.
Okay, so my full name is Danielle Nicole Reddick, but I do go by Danielle Nicole. I am originally from Cleveland, Ohio. I graduated from Bowling Green State University with my bachelor's degree in human development and family studies, and I'm currently in my master's program at Spring Arbor University to become a school social worker. So I am in the process of receiving my master's degree in social work because I do have a love for children and helping children and doing what I need to do to allow them to succeed and help with their mental health and social emotional learning as well. I'm a god mom, so I love my
Wonderful.
goddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, and I do a lot of community service with them as well. And I'm just here today to share my story and share my journey and speak about my business, which is called Tiny Hearts Remembered, Inc.
Wonderful. So you heard it here. Her organization is called Tiny Hearts Remembered. Just wonderful to have another Divine Nine sister on here with me. So
Yes.
we're going to get into this. And even though you are, and I'm not saying this to be in a disrespectful way, you're a young lady, but younger than
Mhm.
myself, let me say it that way. That's the best way to say it. I always like to still start asking some of my guests, tell me about the younger Danielle. Let's say maybe before you started college. What were your hopes and dreams for yourself?
Yes, I wanted to become a teacher and a mother.
Oh,
So
nice.
when I grew up, it was like when I grew up, I wanted to become a teacher and a mom. So when I graduated from BG, my first job was an after school teacher in an after school program. So even
Really?
to this day, my grandmother can tell you that I would play school in the dining room and I would have a schedule out, and even though I
Uh-huh.
wouldn't be talking to anybody. But I would have, play pretend and have a school, and the wall would be the chalkboard. And she would always
Hmm.
tell me, "Don't you write on my wall." So, I always just had a passion for children and
Yes.
babies and education.
Oh, wonderful. So it was just something that just instinctively just in you. And
Yes.
what are go ahead,
And
I'm
I
sorry.
think because my grandmother was the one, like she would during the summertime, we would work on homework and we would do those things, me and my friends. So I think it was
Hmm.
just really instilled in me with just loving school and loving education. If for whatever reason I couldn't go to school because I was sick, like I would cry.
Yeah. Oh,
So they told me that you're just a crybaby because you always cry if you couldn't go to school. So
yes.
I just enjoyed school, and I was always involved from elementary all the way up to high school, whether it was drama club, the different sports. In tennis, I played in school. I played tennis throughout high school. So I just like being involved.
Wonderful. So now, as we cautiously kind of jump into our topic today,
Mhm.
you started an organization called Tiny Hearts Remembered. I want to go back to what you said. You always wanted to be a mother. You
Um,
know?
I want to say I started babysitting early because
Hmm.
it's just me and my older brother, and then we just have a whole lot of cousins. So
Hmm.
I started babysitting my cousins, I want to say maybe the age of 13.
Hmm.
So I've just always been around kids, always been around babies. Somebody around me either just had a baby or about to have a baby. So it was just like kind of around me. And it was like, oh,
Yes.
babies are just so cute. And then
Yes.
by me getting into school and the different jobs that I have, I was a toddler teacher. So at the center, I did have experience with the babies and the
Hmm.
toddlers and the
Hmm.
preschoolers. So I knew how to change diapers. I knew how to do those things. And I don't know, I really got enjoyment
Yeah, of course.
from that,
It's
even the
they're
diaper
enjoy.
changing.
Let me. Yeah, now that's different for a lot of us. Now we just like the cute ways and the cuddles and the oohs and the ahs, but the
Mhm.
diapers you can have. I can tell you that.
Mhm.
So,
Yes.
and if we move, like I said, cautiously into this topic, you started an organization again called Tiny Hearts Remembered. First, tell us what is Tiny Hearts Remembered and what is this organization about?
So Tiny Hearts Remembered, a lot of people do not know that I have the LLC and a nonprofit. So the
Okay.
LLC is the merchandise that we
Okay.
sell for the organization. And then we have the nonprofit organization. Our mission is to provide acceptance, comfort, recognition, understanding, support, and healing to
Hmm.
women who have experienced pregnancy and infant loss. And we have a variety of topics, which I'm sure we'll get into,
Hmm.
of programs that we offer to it's also called the PALE community. So pregnancy and infant loss acronym is PALE, and that is a community that the resources, and I am proud. It may sound crazy, but I am proud to be a part of this community, because if we have not gone through this, then we wouldn't be able to help someone who is going through this.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's interesting you said that. I wrote something down I read earlier, and it said that we're grateful for where we are because now we can help others to and show them comfort in the way we found comfort.
Mm-hmm.
So with you offering the resources, the information, and everything that you're doing, you're a gift to others, I know.
Mm-hmm.
And even though we are going to some of why you felt like you were drawn to start an organization about it, it lets everybody else know some people may not be able to handle it the way you are. Some people are not able to think, oh, I want to start an organization to help
Mm-hmm.
others. Some still are just dealing with it and trying to get through it. And that's all they can do. And that is just okay as well.
Right.
So tell me, unfortunately, you started this organization out of your own uh, story.
Yes.
Can you tell me about that? Are you?
Yes. So I actually, like right now, it's 2021, and I
Mhm.
experienced my miscarriage in 2016.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of been a little while since I experienced my loss.
Mhm.
The day that I was actually scheduled to hear the heartbeat, that night before, I actually ended up going into the emergency just because of the constant bleeding and pain that I was in. So leading up to that, I was having pain. I'll start from the beginning. When I first found out I
Mhm.
was pregnant, I was caught off guard. So
Yeah.
it
Uh-huh.
wasn't anything that was planned. And when I went to my first appointment, my mother was there, the father was there, and
Mhm.
the doctor said that based off your HCG levels, you're either going to have twins or a miscarriage. So me,
Mhm.
I'm bubbly, I'm positive. So I'm just like, I'm also small. So I don't know where these twins are
Yes.
gonna go, but listen,
She's
we're
tiny.
gonna we're gonna make this happen whatever way.
Yes.
So the
Uh-huh.
miscarriage, um, overall, it did catch me off guard. And the reason why I say that is because I had a dream that I was gonna miscarry. I had a dream that I went into my bathroom and
Mhm.
miscarried. in the toilet, which is exactly what happened. So I did miscarry at home. I was almost 9 weeks. So I did not get a chance to hear the heartbeat or anything like that. So that's that is a challenge that I deal with, because it's like I was almost there.
Yes.
And then I did not get a chance to get an ultrasound picture, because me and the father at the time was just like, we'll just wait to the next appointment, because then we'll hear the heartbeat, we'll be excited, and then we'll get the ultrasound. And then I found out that it was a blighted ovum pregnancy loss.
Mhm.
So that means that at some point the baby just stopped developing. So
Yes.
we really don't know. And recently, I just found out that I am diagnosed with cysts and fibroids. So I didn't know that back then. I didn't have that. I wasn't aware
Mhm.
or knew that I had that back then, if I did. But that's something that I'm dealing with, right
Yes.
now. And um, I do deal with what you can call menstrual PTSD.
Mhm.
And literally every month my period comes, I go back to that day of me having the miscarriage. So that's definitely, like you said, that's definitely something you're not gonna ever forget that, And then as
Of
women,
course.
we do have, menstrual cycles, and that is a constant reminder of me
Reminder.
losing my baby. So
Mhm. Let me ask
I,
let me ask you one
yep,
question. What's the name of it again that is called the miscarriage you had?
blighted
What was it?
ovum.
Blighted ovum?
Yes,
Okay. And let me tell you what's similar with your story and mine. When I had my miscarriage, it was my first pregnancy. And
same.
at the time, I was on a trip, and I knew I was pregnant, of course. And at the time, I was only about 10
Hmm.
weeks. No, yeah, 10 weeks, 10, 11 weeks. And on the trip, and just had to go to the bathroom, went to the bathroom and saw blood, like you said.
Hmm.
And I did look in there, and just like they said, more, it looked like it was just tissue,
Yep.
it didn't look like nothing. Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't be so graphic, but so then we went to the hospital because we were out of town on a trip and everything. So I experienced it that same way as you did, of course. Have you ever had dreams before about anything?
No, it really caught
Yes.
me. It really caught me by surprise with that dream, and that's something.
Mm-hmm.
It was so vivid. I could literally see
Uh-huh.
everything, and I know, like at the time, I was dealing with a lot. But I was just like,
Mm-hmm.
nah. I just kind of ignored that. So
Of
then when it
course.
happened, I told my mom, I was like, Mom, like I had a dream. I had a dream this was gonna happen, and it
Mm-hmm.
just to be honest, it just sucked. Like it really sucked that I had to go
Yeah,
through
of
that.
course.
And to know that I kind of seen it coming. And I think for us
Yes.
angel moms, the hardest thing when it comes to miscarrying is there's nothing you can do to stop it. So when your head is hurting, when you have a tummy
Exactly.
ache, you can take medicine, you'll feel better. But when you're
Yes.
experiencing a loss, it's not anything you can do. You have to let it run its course. So when I found that out,
Of course.
my heart was just shattered. And I felt, and I did blame
Of
myself, because
course.
I'm like, I was supposed to protect my baby. I was really supposed to protect my baby, and I couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And we were placed in a situation where whatever was going on inside of there, whatever chromosomes didn't come together, whatever happened,
Mm-hmm.
I could
Mm-hmm.
not save my baby. And with the miscarriage, it had to run its course. And unfortunately, the outcome was not going to be my baby in my arms. It was my baby in the toilet.
Exactly.
Sorry to be graphic, but that's what it was.
No, but it is the
Hmm.
truth. I don't know if you started a nonprofit or the LLC first, but when did you start it?
I started the LLC first back in 2020. I had
Uh-huh.
unfortunately lost my job due to COVID. And
Mm-hmm.
in that spare time, my mind, and I've always had the idea of doing something for my baby. So
Yes.
the thought has always been there. My baby's due date, May 31st, 2017.
Yes.
So, and
Mm-hmm.
I actually have a tattoo. I don't know if you can see it. It's
Uh-huh.
upside
Oh, you
down.
did.
But
Oh,
yeah, so I
yes.
didn't get that until this year. It was a
Uh-huh.
birthday gift to myself. So the idea has always been there. It was just, once I start this, I have to keep it going. And it was more of a reality for me. It's like, once you start sharing your story, once you start this business or nonprofit, it's really real. Like, you really lost your child. So I went back. At first it was just, I just want to make us angel moms feel good, because we're always so sad. Like, I want to make us feel good. So it was just the merchandise, because sometimes when you have like certain shirts and those type of things, you do feel better about yourself and about your situation. And then when I actually started writing out my business plan, I started writing out, well, this is what I want to do, and this is what I want to do. And I'm like, wait, all these programs that I want to do, this sounds like a nonprofit. So I did start the one of our programs, which is called Angel Mamas. It's a private Facebook group that started when I started the LLC. So it's been around for a year now. And then I started the nonprofit earlier this year, in February. So, it has its challenges, because I'm trying to help women heal, not realizing that there were certain aspects of my story and of my journey that I didn't really understand. Like, I started going back, like you said, through my documents from 2017, because I'm like, well, I really don't know what a bloated ovum is. It was just, okay, you lost your baby, and then I go home, and you keep coming back for blood work to make sure your levels are back down to 0, that type of thing. So that did allow me to kind of go back to those records and really figure out what happened and when it happened, because I did kind of, brush it under the rug. I went right back to work, and I was working with babies and those type of things. So with the nonprofit, it's like, I know I can't be the only person that's going through this. I know I can't be the only person that feels this way. So when in 2017, I actually shared my story publicly on Facebook, because I was raising money for the March of Dimes here in Toledo. And I was going to participate in the March of Dimes walk for the babies. And the love that I received, the support that I received from that, I had family members, people I went to high school with, elementary school with, college with, I worked with, they all either was texting me, calling me, commenting on the post, or even messaging me saying, I experienced it too, but I brush it under the rug, or I experienced this too, and I never told anybody, or you're the first person that I'm telling that you're not alone, so to get that reaction, I'm like, okay, God placed this on my heart for a reason. I may feel like crap, I may, wish certain things were different, but I know for me personally, and I'm not speaking for Angel Mamas, I'm speaking as Danielle Nicole, I do feel like God is using me to help the other angel moms that are out there who may not have the voice, or who may not even want to share their story, which is perfectly fine as well, but somebody has to do it.
I agree. And so love that, because that is true. And God, I always say he gives, he knew that you would take this mantle and run with it, which you are doing. And not that you would have chosen it, because one thing I love to say on the path, that you didn't choose this path chose you. You would not have chosen to take this walk. No one would have chosen to take it. Every guest I have out here who shares something that is really traumatic or they've gone through, we wouldn't choose it. We would not. So right. Yes. So, and again, to what you said, I read something, and this was the psychologist who did other work, but until she experienced a miscarriage, she wrote a book about it. And in her she said the same exact thing you said. Enough women were not talking about it. Women, we deal with so much already. So we feel like that's one more thing. We pick our purse back up and we just keep going. Why do you think there's such a stigma? Like you said, you felt the shame surrounding miscarriage, and then how can we help change it?
I think it's because society put this stigma on us as women, as we're here on earth to produce.
Yes.
And in reality, every woman on earth does not want to be a mother.
Not at all. I know some.
They don't,
Hmm. Yes.
so it's like when that opportunity is taken from us, or
Hmm.
women who are dealing with infertility, we feel like, okay, well, what is our purpose?
Yes. Hmm.
What is our purpose? What else can I do if I cannot reproduce?
Exactly. I so agree with that. And the thing about it is, and I think your organization is starting it when I said, how can we change that? And it is getting it
Mm-hmm.
out there, talking about it more. Did
Mm-hmm.
you ever sit back and say, okay, I need to deal with this? Or was the when you started Tiny Hearts Remembered is how you help you to start dealing with it more? Or did you seek and talk to someone?
Um, I tried to get into therapy
Hmm.
to just talk about the losing the baby, but at the time, the relationship with the father was very toxic. So that's
Hmm.
what my therapist wanted to talk about. I didn't want to talk about that. I wanted to talk about my baby. So I did stop seeing her, and then it just kind of went to the back, and I
Hmm.
just was like, I gotta keep moving.
Yes.
I have to keep moving. And then something just came across my mind again, and it was just like, you need to start this.
Hmm. Yes.
You need to share your story, because even though it was in the back of my mind, it was still something that I was dealing with
Of
every day.
course.
I
Of
just
course.
wasn't, working on the documentation part. I wasn't thinking about programs. I
Exactly.
wasn't doing anything like that. And then when I had that time to, I was, spreading awareness here and there and posting stuff
Hmm.
on social
Hmm.
media, but it was like, you can do more,
You can do more.
and that's when I came up with all of the programs that I have for the nonprofit.
Okay, and we're going to get into those programs. I want to read something that you post and see if you remember saying writing this. You said, "You'll never know about the nights I stayed up and the mornings I cried, the moments I felt indescribable joy thinking about you, and the moments where the memories were too hard to reminisce. I may have never held your little hand, but you held my heart. You left too soon, but your memory is never forgotten. I promise to love you and cherish you forever, even on the bad days." Because I remember my first my babies, because I didn't know the sex either of my baby. I just know
Mm-hmm.
he or she was supposed to be born in March. It was March
Mm-hmm.
30th, to be exact. Many, 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 many,
Mm-hmm.
many years ago. Yeah, but um, it was. I'll always remember that. And then I remember I'll never forget the date. And even if I go to my for my checkups now, they're always asked how many pregnancies. And because our
Mm-hmm.
babies is part of our pregnancies, it's just that the pregnancy ended in our baby's not surviving. And I think that's what people
Physically,
always
yeah.
need to understand, because that's what I love about Tiny Hearts Remembered is the fact that that was the baby. Some people may not, because they're not emotionally attached, to the idea of I saw a baby, but it's like, no, you felt something, you knew something was there, someone, and
Mm-hmm.
you can't even explain it. I can't even describe it, how it felt. Tell me something. What's the worst thing someone has said in response to your miscarriage? Um, and what was your reaction? Because we get all kinds of comments sometimes, and people don't know what to say. And I know they don't mean no harm, but what has been the worst thing
Right.
you've heard?
And I would say that was one of the situations. It was just more of, at least you can get pregnant. And it's like, oh, what are you trying to get at? Because that, like, what are you trying
Yes.
to get at? Because at least you can get pregnant is a slap in the face
Hmm.
for someone, because they don't have their baby.
Yeah.
So what exactly are you trying to say? And I think that is where the angel moms who are open about their journey, we
Mhm.
need to stand up for all angel moms, because
Yes.
there are angel moms who, are not at that level yet where they are going to give someone a response when they say something negative. They're just
Yes.
going to keep taking in that negativity. And it's like, No, it's not, oh, you need to get over it. It's not, oh, well, you were only this far along.
Mm-hmm.
It's none of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all.
Exactly.
And people don't realize that their words are more hurtful
Mm-hmm.
than helpful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that people are malicious
No, they're not.
about it. I just think, depending on the person, depending on the situation, depending on the tone and the context, that the response is being used. But I just think people just are not aware.
Of course.
And that is where all of these organizations like mine, we have to come together and spread that awareness, because it's not like, it's aliens. We just had a miscarriage that
Exactly.
was out of our control. We just lost our baby or babies,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
women who have reoccurrent
Yeah.
pregnancies,
Exactly.
pregnancy losses back to back. So it's just making them aware and letting them know what to say, what not
That's
to
right.
say, how to celebrate with
Mm-hmm.
us, how to acknowledge our losses.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely what Tiny Hearts Remember Inc.
Yes.
is all about. Even with the Angel Mama group, we have 257 members.
Wonderful.
And I only had one loss, and it's angel mamas in there who have had 8 or 9 losses.
Mm.
So when learning that, is just like, oh my goodness, you never really know what someone is really going through. Growing up, they didn't talk about. I
Exactly.
knew about abortion.
Yes.
People talk about abortion, but even I had women reach out to me and say, I had an abortion. I didn't want to. Can I still be in your group? Here's the link. I need
Yes.
you in this group.
Exactly. Exactly.
We don't discriminate.
Wonderful.
I don't care if you were 1 day, 2 hours, 2 minutes. You are a mom as soon as that pregnancy test says positive. And
Exactly.
that's how I acknowledge all of the angel mamas.
I agree. I agree. That's wonderful. Have you since starting it, since you dealt with this, and it can be, a lot of these topics that we deal with can be really heavy, and it makes you kind of
Mm-hmm.
relive your journey over,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes we can relive it, but still we just don't, long as we don't get stuck and, feel like depressed from it. How has it been talking to other women who have gone through this? Does it get to be heavy sometimes to you with?
Yes, it's very triggering.
Yeah.
Because I always think about the what
Yeah.
ifs. I only have maybe three or four pictures,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when you are on social media and you see people you've gone to school with, or see friends on your timeline who are having multiple babies,
Yeah.
it is triggering. And if it's on my timeline, I know it's on the other angel mama's
Yes.
timeline. So we need to come together and figure out, okay, what boundaries do we need to set? What social media boundaries do we need to
Yes.
set? Because
Mm-hmm.
after having my miscarriage, when I went into the store, they going near the baby, I just broke down.
Ah.
So it's like, sometimes you don't know you're triggered until you're actually
Yes.
triggered. You may
Yes.
think you're okay,
Mm-hmm.
but you're really not
Yes.
okay. And as an angel mom, it's okay to not be okay.
It's okay to
It's
not be
okay to sit
okay.
in your room and cry. It's okay to sit in the closet and write. It's okay to sit in the dark and just think. It's okay.
It's okay.
But it's also okay to go outside and take a walk.
Yeah.
Those type of things as well, just because there's nothing we can do to bring our babies back,
Mm-hmm.
and that is what hurts the most. And there was nothing we can do to save our babies.
Of course.
So it's like, we have to allow ourselves to go through the motions. The steps of grief. You're not going to go through those step by step. One day you're going to be mad, then
Yes.
you're going to be in denial. Even sometimes now, and my miscarriage was in 2016. Sometimes I am in denial, because I was at that stage where I did not see my belly continue to grow, and that's all I was waiting
Of
for.
course. Of course.
So it's like, you always want to see that journey and the end result of a baby, and you just don't get to,
Exactly.
unfortunately.
How do you feel like you, Danielle, has transformed after something major like this has happened? Has it changed you, besides, I know, something devastating happening, but has it changed the person that you think you knew you were in 2015?
um I would say that, for example, the whole April Fool's jokes, how people will always say that they're pregnant, they're really not. It really didn't resonate with me until I had a miscarriage, because it's like, okay, people are joking about being pregnant when it's women that's depressed and dealing with anxiety and wishing and longing that they could be pregnant. So like little, those type of scenarios that I see, it definitely changed my mind. And like I said, I didn't know much about miscarriage until I actually experienced that, and Google and finding out about how important October is, because everybody is, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which is important as well. But it's also Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month.
I didn't realize that October until I looked at your website.
So it's like, we're not acknowledged.
Yes.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
That is the problem. And that is why a lot of women don't share their stories. That's why a lot of women don't know how to deal with this journey, because who can they talk to?
Yes.
Sometimes their spouse doesn't understand. Sometimes their spouse is like, okay, let's just try again. I don't want to try again.
Exactly.
Not because I don't want a baby, but because I'm fearful of having another pregnancy loss.
Exactly.
So it's just, that's why I created Angel Mamas, because I wanted women to know that this group is a private Facebook group. You have to answer. I have security questions that they have to answer. You have to have a profile picture as well. And you come in here, you share your stories, you share your thoughts. You can share, a lot of women, in the group right now, they're actively going through it right now. So you can share how you're feeling before your doctor's appointment. You can do that here, because this is a safe space.
Yeah.
So, and we're all encouraging, like I said, a lot of, that's why we do have Facebook. We don't have an Instagram group or anything. I try to convert everyone to Facebook, just because it's more of a confidentiality platform. And I just don't want them to think that their journey doesn't matter, because it does. I want their feelings to be validated, because we know how you feel, because we went through it. Even if someone went through it at 4 months and someone went through it at 8 weeks, we both lost a pregnancy, we both lost a child, and we both missed our baby.
Exactly.
So that's what we have in common. And I just wanted to create that safe space for them as well. And then sometimes, like, I'll put, funny and uplifting messages in there as well, just because for me, I don't need you to constantly remind me I lost my baby. I know I did.
Exactly.
So how are we gonna, I lived this. So how can we acknowledge our loss, but also try to, bring that positive and uplifting empowerment aspect to our journey, because this is hard. Like, it's hard. Like I tell women all the time, yes, being a physical parent with your baby physically here is hard, but have you tried to love a baby that you never got to meet? Have you tried to love a baby who you never got to hear their heartbeat or see their face or hold them in your arms?
Exactly.
So,
Looking back at your situation, what advice would you give to another woman like today? And you've experienced this because people coming into your group. What kind of advice have you offered, like that woman who it just happened to yesterday, whose heart is torn, and what's some of the first things you normally try to share with them? I mean, I know everyone is different, the situation's different, but what would you offer them?
allow yourself to feel and take it. I tell them in the group all the time, minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day, week by week, and so on, because this is a never ending healing journey. You're never going to fully heal, because we can't get our babies back. So it's always going to be that hole that is missing. And I want them to know that it's okay if you experience a pregnancy loss 30 years ago and you still cry about it. It's okay.
Yes.
Why is it okay for you to cry after you lost your mom and she's been gone for 10, 15 years, but you can't cry about your baby? That's a problem. So I want people to know and understand it's the same. You lost somebody that you cared about, whether you got a
Right.
chance to meet them or not. So allow yourself to feel all of the emotions that you want to feel and you need to feel.
Can I tell you, you said that like I'm not old, Danielle, but I love what you just said. She is just the oldest. So that was wonderful. Wonderful, seriously, because it resonates with a person. And
Hmm.
to understand it that way, and for people who may not have felt understood other people who have lost children, a baby, or had a, it helps people out there who, even men, to
Hmm.
understand, okay, when you put it that way, now I get it.
Hmm.
Put that on a shirt.
Hmm.
So let's
Yes,
talk
and
about some of that
even
merchandise because let me tell
yes,
you, she said it here. You will see something one day, maybe in Tiny Hearts. Remember, I love that. Really, it breaks it down for people to truly understand it. So let's tell me
yeah, because
about
it's
some of the
just like
merchandise you have that you offer.
yes. So we have a variety of different types of merchandise. So
Mhm.
with the t-shirts, we do have black and gray t-shirts. And one thing that I had to tell myself is I lost one, but there's women who lost multiple pregnancies.
Yes.
So every merchandise that I do try to put out there, I try to cover both types of angel moms because I don't
Mhm.
want anyone to feel left out. So I do offer the mommy of an angel and then mommy of angels
Mhm.
t-shirts. And then we have matching pop sockets. So the little I don't know, they like go on the back, the phone grips that go on
Yeah.
the back of
Okay.
your
Mhm.
phone. So we have the mommy of an angel and mommy of angels as well. And then we have my logo with the white background and black background.
Mhm.
And then we also have candles. So something I did not share is when I was pregnant, I had the pregnancy app and it monitor, okay, at this week your baby is this and
Yes.
then your baby is that.
Yes. They
And
didn't have an app when I was
at my
pregnant,
week
though.
um
I'm not that old out there,
my
y'all, but I'm just saying.
my week blueberry just stuck with me.
Yes.
Blueberry, just that size just stuck with me. So that is what I named my baby
Oh.
Blueberry. So I do have a blueberry love candle. And it is the amber scent with jasmine flowers.
Mhm.
And that is because amber, that scent kind of like lowers your stress levels and
Mhm.
helps with your anxiety. And then the jasmine flowers represents love, motherhood, beauty, and God's gift. So
How
that
beautiful.
is why I have that candle just in recognition of my baby.
Yes.
And then with that, you get the chance to have different affirmations on that candle.
Mhm.
So the affirmations are it is not my fault, because I'm pretty sure every single angel mom out there has said it is my fault. I
Yes.
said it was my fault multiple times, so I know
Yes.
how that feels. So to have a candle
Mhm.
that I light every day and it says it is not my fault, it really does help.
Of course.
I release all guilt and shame because we are shameful
Mhm.
sometimes and we do feel guilty. I am strong and hopeful
Mhm.
because some angel moms do go on to have their rainbow baby, which is a baby after a loss.
Yeah. Okay.
So I do want to provide that positivity to them as
Mhm.
well. And then I forgive my body is the last affirmation, just because we're like, well, what did I do wrong? Or why
Mhm.
can't my body hold a pregnancy? So just, kind of uplifting candle for the moms to purchase. And then we have the homemade. So all of these products are homemade. So the homemade healing candle um, is with angelic oil, which signifies like protection of babies and blessing the babies.
Mhm.
Vanilla represents empowerment, good luck, and love energies. And then lavender helps with just finding mind, spirit, and body balance.
One, I love how you
So,
really thought about what goes into each candle.
mm-hmm,
And not just put a candle together with which affirmations are critical and huge in every parts of our
mm-hmm,
lives. So I love the fact that you are looking at it that way. And making sure that scent and that what it's saying, it represents what that mother may need or feel. It wants, with
Yes.
the scented oils and everything that we're taking
Hmm.
in as well. Oh, I love that.
Yes. Thank
So,
you. And that's all we have right now.
just today. So tomorrow, you just started this in 2020, like you said. So it's crazy.
Hmm.
All that you're already doing is a wonderful, wonderful thing. And trust me, everyone, all of that will be in the show notes when this episode goes live. So you have the affirmations, the candles, the t-shirts. Um, I saw on something else on your website, and we're gonna have her give us the website again in a few. Tell me about what's coming soon. You said it's an angel remembrance wall. I love that when that comes. Tell us
Yes.
what that is going to be about.
Yes. So, and then I'll talk about the different programs to
Yes.
kind of align with that as
Mhm.
well. So, the Angel Remembrance Wall. So, October is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month,
Mhm.
and that is where we go all out for that month.
Mhm.
We will share more stories. We will post different photos. We will just explain and share with people what exactly Pregnancy and Infant
Mhm.
Loss Awareness Month is letting everyone know that someone you may know experience a pregnancy loss. This is how you can help them, or these are the signs of a pregnancy loss and
Mhm.
those type of things. And then on the 15th, October 15th at 7 p.m. nationwide, you light a candle. So everyone lights a candle at 7 p.m. on October 15th, and it signifies all of the babies that were gone too soon.
Oh, okay.
So it's definitely lovely. Last year was the first time that, not that I participated, because I've been participating in it for a few years
Mhm.
privately.
Yes.
So I actually publicly, and it's also on our website as well. I went live on Facebook. I had music playing. I read a poem.
Mhm.
And then I had all of the angel mamas in my group submit their babies' names, and
Mhm.
I read all of their babies'
Aw.
names. So it was definitely wonderful. So with that,
Mhm.
the Angel Remembrance Wall, I'm going to ask them to submit their names again, and it will always be on our website forever.
Ever. Yeah.
So, yep, because I always let them know we will forever remember your babies with you, because we will.
Exactly.
All of our babies are in baby heaven
In baby
playing
heaven.
together and probably doing whatever,
I
So we
agree.
have to realize,
I agree.
that we're in this together because our babies are together.
Yes.
As well. So that is the purpose of the Angel Remembrance Wall. So we'll open that up for the Angel Mamas to submit the information, and then we'll put it on our website, and that will be what we're going to launch that in October. But
Awesome.
so it can be ready for the entire month. So
Mhm.
then moms can go back like, oh my gosh, today my baby was added.
Yes.
My baby was added to the website. To the Remembrance Wall
Mhm.
today.
Mhm.
So even though it's a sad situation,
Yes.
we can also turn it into something
Something positive.
positive.
I
So
agree. It's going to bless so many people. And like you said, those
mhm.
mothers who are going to see their little angels there. I just
Mm.
love what you're doing. And I can't wait to check out your the merchandise and everything. So tell me about the programs. You said that's part of the programs you were gonna
Yes.
share? That's
Yes.
okay.
So we have the
Awesome.
Angel Mamas group, which I already shared, and
Mhm.
that is ongoing. So
Yes.
we're in that group every day. Women have the option to participate in the group or not participate
Mhm.
in the group. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with Facebook groups, but some Facebook groups
Yes.
do require you to participate and comment and like and those type of things. That is not something that I require from them,
Okay.
just because, I don't want to talk about my baby all the
Yes.
time. This is very hurtful when I'm ready. So I always let
Of
them know,
course.
when you're ready, welcome to the group. We are here for you. And my tagline is always, together we will heal.
Oh,
And with that, I won't go into that yet. I'll keep going.
yes.
So that's one of the programs. And then we have the Tiny Heart Support. So that
Mhm.
is a monthly support group via
Mhm.
Zoom, just because of privacy, a
Yes.
security platform, and they are topic based.
Yes.
So we've had OBGYNs come in and speak. We had even some angel mamas come in and speak, NICU nurses come and speak, those type of things.
Mhm.
One of my friends, she came and spoke about just overcoming depression and anxiety. So each month, it's definitely a different topic for us to just come together. It's not anything formal. You can come in your PJs, have your snacks. If you
Yes.
don't want your camera on, you don't have to, those type of things. If you just want to come and listen, you can just come and listen. It's not one of
Exactly.
those groups that you have to participate, because even though we are all grieving our babies, we are all at different stages of our journey. So
Yes.
I don't want anyone to ever feel as though, well, I do want to go to the support group, but I'm not trying to talk. You don't have to.
You don't have to
I'll
talk.
do all the talking if need
For you.
be. So I just want them to know, when you are ready to talk, that that's what we are here for.
Mhm.
And then Tiny Hearts Share.
Mhm.
So that program allows women to publicly share their story. And
Mhm.
we have different types of ways for them to do that, just because so many women are going through this, but we feel like we're alone. So when
Yes.
we hear other women's stories, whether, they have had multiple miscarriages, or they have had a miscarriage, then a rainbow baby, then a miscarriage, and then another, like, we
Yes.
need to hear those stories. We need to
Mhm.
hear those stories of healing. We need to hear those stories of loss. We need to hear those stories of hope. So if they are not comfortable with being on video, I do allow them to just submit whatever picture that they would like, because it will be on our Facebook, our Instagram, and our website. And then they'll just write their story.
Mhm.
And then I know some moms have sent in letters that they
Mhm.
wrote to their babies. So they just submit a picture, and then we post that on our social media and website as
Mhm.
well. And then we also have the option of a Zoom,
Mhm.
where we will record the Zoom, and then we will share it to our platforms. And then we have the option of Facebook Live and Instagram Live. So that's what's really been happening with that. A lot of the moms have been wanting to go on Facebook Live and Instagram Live, just because
Yes.
we get to actually engage with the other angel mamas who are joining in, and they can ask us questions and those type of things. And I think that it's very important for women to share their story, because it can be someone who's listening and just like, oh, I never even thought to celebrate my baby that way. Or,
Yes.
oh, I've been grieving for 3 years now, and I thought that I should be over it by now. And this woman has been grieving for 15 years. So I know it's okay. So
Yes.
just giving them that reassurance that it's okay to not be okay.
It's
So
okay.
that's what Tiny Hearts Share is. Tiny Hearts Bond is
Mhm.
basically a girls' night. So it's an event for us to just get together, and it does not have to be pregnancy loss related.
Okay.
Like I stated before, we know we lost our babies. We don't need a constant reminder. So this is just kind of a
Yes.
time for us. We're sisters. Just like
Yes.
I'm in a sorority, and these were all strangers, and now we're sisters for life.
Yes.
It's the same thing with being an angel mom. And I do look at it as a sisterhood, and we are in this together. And just because we experience a loss does not mean that we have to be sad all the time.
All the
We
time.
can even come together on Zoom and cry.
Yes.
And that's perfectly fine. So that's what Tiny Hearts Bond is, just for us to um get together and just spend time with each other, whether it's remembering our babies, or a girls' night, or a game night, or a virtual wine tasting. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just us being
Exactly.
able
It's
to
fun.
come together. And then we have Tiny Hearts Care. So I really thought about this program very hard,
Yes, you
because
have.
this program, Tiny Hearts Care, means a lot, because we are not acknowledged as mothers. So with
Yes.
Tiny Hearts Care, we launched this in May. So it's not an it's kind of a program that happens throughout the year, just
Mhm.
because of different holidays and those type of things. So everybody know Mother's Day is very big. And
Yes.
then we also have bereaved Mother's Day as well.
Yes.
So what we did is we gave the angel moms the option, if they wanted to receive a card, a Mother's Day card.
Yeah.
And we gave them the option, put your baby's name, put, anything that you want. So when
Yes.
we write these letters to you all, we want you to know that we care about you. We love you. We celebrate you.
Mhm.
Happy Mother's Day to you. We remember your baby with you. So Tiny Hearts Care. we want our angel moms to be acknowledged. So Mother's Day, Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month, the holidays, those type of things. That is why Tiny Hearts care, because we do care. We
Yes.
want you to know that you can get a card in the mail just like someone who physically has their
Of
baby.
course. Of course.
So that's what that is. And then the last program is Tiny Hearts Give. And this is definitely a program that I did research on just because, and being in multiple pregnancy loss groups and figuring out, okay, this is a problem in this community and we need to figure out how to fix that. And a lot of women who experience pregnancy and infant loss, they have to go right back to work. Or if a mother is so far along, she has to have a funeral for her baby. So with Tiny Hearts Give, we are constantly fundraising money so that we can launch this program and be able to financially help an angel mom with the burial expenses, or even with hospital bills. $3,000 hospital bill. If someone is willing to give you $1,000, you're gonna want to apply to be able to get that, because realistically, you just don't have it. You just don't have that. And it's just a reminder, I have this hospital bill, but I don't have my baby. That's not fair. And that's not okay. So I want to be able to, it's going to hurt regardless, but I do want to ease their pain just a little bit if I'm able to help them financially. And then we'll be able to open it up. So when we do launch this, it will be for burial expenses and medical bills. And then it will be bill expenses, just because some women physically are not ready to go back to work and they can't. But it's like, okay, but I have to pay my bills.
Yes.
You know, if you apply for our Tiny Hearts Gift program, you know, you may get $100 or you may get $250 or something like that to be able to help with a few bills and those type of things. So that is why we have the Tiny Hearts Gift program.
You have now you didn't put all that. That's a lot of wonderful things that you are doing. I also love your nonprofit. I love what you're doing, and all that. It's the thought that you put into everything you're doing. Like again, it's only because you feel it. You know what everyone else is, what a woman would go through, what she will go through, unfortunately. And even if you didn't experience some of this, you already know. Like even the Tiny Hearts Give. You know, I didn't think about it really, even though I experienced it. I think, like you said, I sat up for a minute, and of course, I went on right back to work and everything. But I love what you're doing. I love Tiny Hearts Remembered. And I want everyone out there, because even when we share, we'll put things on there like that if someone wants to give. And like you said, unfortunately for those mothers, us, we came home without our babies and we still got a bill. So to just put it that way again, puts it in perspective for people to understand there's still a bill out there. Everything still happens, just maybe not at the magnitude of the cost of, having a child, but we still have a bill. We had a bill we had to pay. And I love everything you're doing. Let me ask you this. Is there anything else that you felt like, before we get in, and I want you to give your website information again, that you would like to share now that you didn't share, or a question I didn't ask that you would just want to mention about Tiny Hearts Remembered, or about Danielle Nicole, or about the angel mom that you talked to?
Right. I would say to don't rush your grieving process, because it's never gonna end, unfortunately. So with organizations like mine, we just want to be able to come together as a community and try and find ways to acknowledge our babies, ways to spread awareness, and healthy ways to cope with our loss. And something else that I always tell my angel mamas is, because we're always like, well, I'm never going to forget my baby. We're never going to forget our baby, ever. And that is perfectly fine. Healing does not mean forgetting.
Exactly.
It just means that we are finding different, positive, healthy ways to acknowledge our babies and spread awareness, because that's what the problem is. The problem is people don't know how to handle us, and they need to handle us with care.
Yes.
They need to handle us with care because we did not ask to be a part of this club. We were forced to be in this club, just like, you know, your tagline for the podcast.
Yes.
It happened.
Yes.
And we have to be able to stick together and be able to educate those who say the mean things and who don't understand that I just had a miscarriage and I don't want to help plan your baby shower. I just had a miscarriage. I don't want to come and see your newborn.
Yes.
And it be okay.
And it be okay.
So that's what Tiny Hearts Remember is all about, and letting them know that it's okay to share your story and it's okay to not share your story.
Yes.
Take what you need when you need it.
Exactly. And other people, like you said already, if I don't want to plan your baby shower or come, for people to understand, for them not to take it personal. It's just like you, and no, I always change what I say. People may not understand, but just acknowledge, because of what this person went through, I have to understand the reasoning for not wanting to do it, you know, and just love on them anyway, you know? So that's,
and I agree with that. I definitely agree with that, because I get Happy Mother's Day messages or posts on Mother's Day, and it brings me to tears.
I bet.
Because it's like, wow, people really, you know, and it's not just my immediate family that knows, or, you know, which is my mom and my brother and my grandmother, but it's people on Facebook or, you know, those type of things. And that means a lot. That means a lot to an angel mom to just acknowledge us. And even on May 31st, I always do a balloon release. Always. You know, and this year, I actually, it was more emotional than before, because my sorority sister, who was also an angel mom that lost her twins last year, she passed away this year. So that was around the same time. So, you know, I released balloons for her and her twins and my baby. And it was just like, you never know what an angel mom is going through. So acknowledging them on Mother's Day, celebrating their baby's birthday with them, whether it's lighting a candle with them, or, you know, I normally take that day off from work. And then the day that I miscarried as well, November 3rd, I take that day off. If it falls during the week, I take that day off from work. And that's time that I really truly allow myself to feel and be in my emotions, because those are important days to me as well. And there's no right or wrong way to celebrate, but I think people need to know and understand, be gentle with your words, be gentle with us, and we just want to be acknowledged.
Exactly. And I love what you said. There's no right or wrong way to celebrate. As well as, I was going to say, there's no right or wrong way to grieve. You know, it's just what our prayer is, everybody does it differently. We just would love for you just to be able to, you know, be okay. Tell us all your social media ways of reaching out to you, and you know, the ways we can. We know everybody should not try to get even in your private Facebook pages. So, but your other ways to find out about your merchandise, your website, your social media that is open.
Okay. So our Instagram is Tiny Hearts. So make sure you all at the S. So Tiny Hearts Remembered with the ED Inc. INC on Instagram, Facebook as well. Tiny Hearts Remembered Inc. Our group is called Angel Mamas, if you search for groups in that option. And then our website is www.tinyheartsrememberedinc.org. And then our email is tinyheartsrememberedinc@gmail.com. And then for those who wish to donate, we do have Cash App and PayPal. If you have those, we also have on our website an actual link where you can donate as well. Our Cash App and PayPal is THR Inc. 21.
And again, everything she's saying, I will put in all the show notes. And let me ask you again, the Angel Mamas is Angel Mamas.
Yes, with the S at the end.
And because I'm sorry if I kept saying Angel Moms, even though I know, you know.
It's okay.
But So if someone who has experienced that, they just have to fill out a form to try to see if they can be accepted into the private group settings.
Yes. So when you click the groups, because some groups are just open
Yes.
forum, you just join and then you just automatically are in there. But with Angel Mamas, it will ask you a few questions, like, are you an Angel Mama? Are you willing to
Mhm.
participate as much as your comfort will allow? Um,
Mhm.
be we have like rules that you have to abide by, and the rules are not strict. It's just along
Mhm.
the lines of being considerate. Just because of other negative things that I've seen in other groups,
Mhm.
I just want my angel moms to know that this is a safe space.
Mhm.
um as well. And they just answer those questions and wait for one of the admins to approve them. And please
Exactly.
make sure you have a profile picture, just because with a lot that's been going on social media in general, on all these platforms, we've been dealing with scammers. So we have
Yes.
been blocking those from the group. And once you block someone from the group, they can't even find it ever again. And Facebook gives you the option to block that account and any other accounts they make. So
Yes.
please make sure that if you are Angel Mom and you would love to be in our group, and we just, I go live in the group
Mhm.
as well, whether it's me just venting or it may be something that I've seen and I want to go in there and talk to them about. Angel Mamas are able to post their questions, their, if they're having a bad day, like I just can't today, I'm missing my baby, we're there to encourage her and uplift her. That's what happens in that group. Please make sure that you have a profile picture, and it is for women only. So as of right now, we do not have a dad's group, but give me time, y'all.
Yes.
I'm just starting out, because
The
I know
organization
that
just
is a
came about. Yeah, that's maybe the
yes.
future if she decides to go that route.
Yes, because that is a question that I was asked when I
Yes.
launched Tiny Hearts. It was like, well, what about us? What about us? And I
Yes.
totally agree with that, because I do
Yes.
feel as though the
Yes.
dads are pushed to the side a little bit, just
Yes.
because we're dealing with our emotions as we should be. So just
Mhm.
stay tuned for that as well.
Exactly. And just so the men know out there, it's just like this website, but this podcast. It's not that we don't think men are important, and we know they play a major role as well in
Mm-hmm.
everything that somewhat just differently maybe than we deal with. But you are just as important. But again, women go through so much. Sometimes we just, we need that. And if it comes, it'll
Mm-hmm.
come. Because like I always say on the path, one day I may start talking to men as well. It's just
Mm-hmm.
right now I deal with women because I feel like we deal with so much. And
Mm-hmm.
I just want women to come through and, just wear that crown straight on her head, like it's, like it was just made to be there, because it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want her to walk in her true voice and authentic self. So let me tell you this. I've enjoyed this interview. You are such a bright light for so many out there, and you're wise, and I hate that you had to go through this, because I can tell you're just intelligent regardless if you had gone through this or not. And you are, or you will, and we're going to do something different, and it was going to be great. And
Thank you.
again, I wish you didn't have to do this one, but the world is going to be better because of you, and your
Thank
baby is
you.
going to be so proud. Is your baby is proud of you for doing what you
Mm-hmm.
do. I'm proud of you. If you make me feel like a mother, just like
Thank you. Thank you.
I love what you're doing, and I see your heart. You connect and you understand people when you feel, it's not done for any other reason but to help
Mm-hmm.
others, to help, because you went through something and you understand, and you hate for other women to go through it. I know, and to feel
Mm-hmm.
certain ways, and we know
Mm-hmm.
it's a big emotional place to be, to have to deal with losing a child. So
Mm-hmm.
thank you again for being on here.
Thank
And
you for having me.
no, I want to thank you. And this is how we're going to end the show. I You said this earlier, and I said you started pulling some of the things I had written down, but I wrote, it doesn't matter if you experience 6, 8, 12 weeks carrying your precious baby. The emotions you felt after losing your child has a way of shifting your life. It could be subtle or in demonstrative ways. The way we help is by sharing our story, by creating an organization like Danielle has. And you being a part of Angel Mamas is going to bless you mightily. Surround yourself with other mothers like yourself. Although one or for some more of our pregnancies didn't end the way we would have hoped or desired it to, our wish is for you to receive acceptance, comfort, recognition, understanding, and healing and offer it to others the way we received it. That's me, Daniela's wish. Let me say it that way, is that we want to offer to you the same things that we received or we didn't receive. So you make sure you receive that. I also would
Yes.
like to end as I always read something that my guest wrote. This is a journey that no woman should navigate through alone. Danielle said, to me, pink represents the love I will always have for my angel. To me, blue represents the healing power of God through my journey. To me, white represents the enlightenment of pregnancy and infant loss. Healing does not mean forgetting. What I wrote is our crown is not complete until every woman wears her crown confidently. Thank you again for joining me, Danielle. I can't wait to see all the amazing things that you do. Is there any last words you have?
Thank you so much for having me. And I just want to say that all the angel mamas out there, please know and understand you are not alone, and together we will heal.
Amen. Until next time, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for hanging with us. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and other platforms so you can stay up on our bi-weekly real conversations with these bold women. You can follow The Path Podcast on Facebook at The Path Podcast and on Instagram and Twitter at The Path_podcast. And if you would like to be a guest on the show or have questions for a future show, you can email us at thepath4ward @gmail.com. That's thepathforward@gmail.com. And if you're looking for a speaker or you're in need of a life coach, please reach out to me. Again, at thepathforward@gmail.com or at ACKORLEH@gmail.com. Thank you. Until next time.